3:39 on WTMJ. Been telling you about the house fire in Milwaukee yesterday. We had a very short show yesterday, but the fire was still kind of in its infancy at the time we came on yesterday afternoon around 19th and Burnham in Milwaukee. And some of the imagery showed just total devastation to these houses. Sandy, a third house, I would not say is a total loss, but certainly significant damage. Two of the homes were just absolutely devastated. We have now learned that those fires have produced fatalities, and there's also a personal connection, a strong personal connection.
So neighborhood that's, the foundation of Milwaukee on that south side near historic Mitchell Street. On the phone, a lifelong Milwaukeean, recognizable voice of the Marquette Golden Eagles basketball team, but my boyfriend who has a connection to this neighborhood. Please welcome to Wisconsin's Afternoon News, Mike Jakubowski.
Oh, good afternoon, Sandy and Greg.
I can hear it in your voice. What is your connection to this neighborhood at 19th and Burnham?
Well, first, my heart goes out to the families there. Awful. And now to learn loss of life also included. Just incredibly terrible news. The personal connection is it was 4 houses involved, 3 of which were totally destroyed. And of the 4 houses, the one to the south is where my father was born and grew up. The one to the other side is where my mother was born and grew up, and they met in that neighborhood 3 doors apart.
So the family history here, Mike, and I'm just picturing you growing up, and it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas. You kind of bounce from one house to the next, like the shaping of your life was on this block in these homes.
The old Polish neighborhood, the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Countless baptisms and graduations and Christmas and holiday, going up one grandma's stair steps to delicacies of a Polish nature, and then on Thanksgiving, literally walking 3 doors down to my dad's family, and just all of the families that were a part of that side of town, and even the families that are there now. The area is experiencing change and rebirth, and people are occupying those spaces, and it's a wonderful neighborhood. And to see it devastated in this way is heartbreaking for the folks there now, and just so many memories of family at that specific location, and to have it be that specific with those 4 pieces of property is just uncannily awful.
So with those fond memories, have you had the inclination to watch the news or even go into that neighborhood?
Both. I became aware when the address came out and said 19th and Burnham. I immediately identified that area with where my mom and dad grew up, and then I was down there this morning, and it's just all cordoned off and just awful sight, and just remembering trick-or-treating in that neighborhood and celebrating with family for many, many years as families there celebrate now. So just understanding the loss of the people that are there now, and the memories that flooded back of all the great time in that area, just as the bookend houses, just the bookend experiences of then and now, just kind of hit you right between the ribs.
Yeah, I know, Mike, you shared some photos with Sandy that we have up on our website here, WTMJ.com. Very clearly shows that 2 of the houses are a total loss, as you mentioned. A third house, it looks like the roof was severely damaged. Maybe the perimeter on the first floor is okay, but that only speaks to the outside. What happened inside is, anybody's guess. And a fourth house that maybe not quite as visible in the pictures you took, But this speaks to what we talked about yesterday, the temperatures, the wind, just blowing the fire. It became so difficult to contain that it did spread. A house fire turned into a multiple house fire.
Because these houses are close together?
Yeah.
All 4 tightly bunched together in that neighborhood, and for the firefighters to have to fight the elements, additionally with the wind and the dryness and putting their lives on the line, just an intense situation all around, and especially for those folks that have to go in and find the cause and find fatalities, and it's just heartrending.
First responders do impressive work. Well, Mike, thank you for sharing your emotional connection, because I think that a lot of us immediately think of the people who are immediately displaced. But remembering that we have such a history and such a community here, and that it brings up both bittersweet memories and also just the jarring reality of just how dangerous fire can be.
Long live the South Side.
I appreciate your time. Mike Jakubowski joining us here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. 3:45.
It is sobering to see the photos at WTMJ.com, and then I pulled up Google Maps, as one does, and to see what those houses look like just 2 days ago, and these charred remains now. So,
well, fatal fire, and it certainly, and these are old homes, and it affects, as we talked to Mike, far more than just the people who live in that area. It's memories, right?
Yeah.
Memories of a house that just is gone. Now, 19th and Burnham. 3:45 on WTMJ.